The last spark of Eronis. Circuit of shadows. The echoing vaults. Forgotten metro lines. Deep beneath the ruins of Eronis, the metro lines still hum faintly in ancient whisper, lost in steel bones. What secrets sleep beneath a dead city, where silence rides faster than sound? Every tunnel curves like a question mark, with no one left to answer. Some paths aren't abandoned, they're quarantined. It wasn't just transportation, it was containment. Kale walks between echoish steps, tracing forgotten circuitry. There's a reason the city sealed this place shut. Kale standing inside a collapsed metro tunnel, his glowing hands illuminating ancient glyphs. Even the shadows here are encoded. In the dark, something stirs. Something once called passenger. The past doesn't sleep, it patrols. Mechanical humanoids hanging dormant from the ceiling, their eyes faintly glowing red. Not all passengers reach their destination. Eronis Sky Bridge. Night storm. High above the city, a crumbling bridge cuts through lightning and vapor, trembling with old fear. How do you cross a bridge built on broken promises? Image prompt. A skeletal bridge of metal and glass suspended over the void, with lightning dancing around its shattered beams. Every bolt of lightning writes history in the sky. Kyle dares the storm not to escape, but to find clarity. Lightning speaks to him now. The storm knows his name. Kale on the bridge, framed by electric arc's arms outstretched, absorbing the surge. Sometimes the storm isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. The sky remembers what the ground forgot. Power doesn't fall from the sky tests who can survive it. These aren't clouds, they're archives. He sees flashes not just lightning, but memories. What if the storm is a memory drive? Electrical current forming faces and scenes in the clouds above him. The weather is watching. Memory vaults, labyrinth of mind. A hidden chamber in the depths of Eronis, known only to Sinkborn like Kale houses, memories too dangerous to remember. What if your worst enemy was a version of you forgot? Memories aren't stored, they're caged. Kale steps inside, and the air thickens charged with unspoken truths. You don't choose what you remember. The vault does. Kyle touching one orb, his reflection splitting into multiple versions. He didn't unlock memories. He unleashed them. Each orb is a life his own, spliced and scattered. The truth isn't hidden, it's fragmented. He's not one person, he's all his failures at once. As he ascends, echoes argue inside his mind. If you met your past self, would you survive the conversation? Kale surrounded by transparent figures of his past, all speaking at once. The louder the truth, the harder it is to hear. Forgotten arena. Echoes of war. A collapsed dome, once an arena of entertainment, now rings with phantom cheers and cries of war. Who wins a war no one remembers? Fame fades, but fear echoes. Kale feels drawn like the arena is calling out for a rematch. The city doesn't need champions. It needs survivors. Kale, standing in the center. Lights flaring around him as holographic enemies load in. He's fighting ghosts programmed to win. Every move he makes triggers a counterstrike from the past. Some arenas fight back. A glitching avatar of a former rebel general lunging at Kale. Victory is an illusion in recycled war. As he battles, his light evolves more instinct, less control. What if your power trained itself? Kale's body partially overtaken by glowing circuitry during combat. Even his muscles remember war. Lighthouse of static, edge of the city. Beyond the ruins lies a tower of hum and flicker, the lighthouse of static. What calls to you when the world goes silent? It doesn't guide ships, it whispers to minds. Kale approaches, and static floods his thoughts. When you hear every voice at once, how do you find your own? Kale, inside the tower, surrounded by walls displaying his memories, fears, and futures. This isn't a broadcast, it's a confession. The tower begins speaking, a patchwork voice built from 1,000 lost souls. What if the city's soul was fractured into code? Screens around Kael sinking into a single glowing silhouette. He isn't alone. He's never been. Light stabilizes. Not controlled chosen. Power doesn't corrupt. It reveals. Kael exiting the tower. His glow balanced. The city behind flickering with new hope. He walked into static hand, came out signal. Gardens of delay. Time loop shrine. In the city's forgotten belly blooms, a garden fed by static timelines. What if nature evolved to remember time? Bioluminescent plants suspended mid-movement in frozen air, bending around Kyle as he walks. The plants don't grow, they rehearse. Every flower pulses with past moments, unfolding scenes like petals. Time is a spiral, not a line. One breath, one eternity. Kale steps into a loop where every step takes him back. Escape isn't about running forward, it's about knowing where you started. Kyle duplicating his every step seconds before he takes them. He walks his own deja vu. Voices in the wind whisper names he hasn't earned yet. What if you met your destiny before you became it? He's not walking through time. Time's walking through him. The city now murmurs in anticipation. Kale's path is lit. Not by destiny, but by choice. The spark no longer flickers. It pulses. The reboot continues.